Shalom, brothers and sisters. It's the Hebrew Life again. I'm Base Jerusalem, and I'm back with another lesson. We're going to call this one the Flat Earth Conspiracy. Well, the Globe Earth Conspiracy. Because in the so-called conscious community, you have a lot of arguments and debates and disagreements on whether the earth is flat or not. Most people believe with the media and with the teachers and whatever been put in front of them that the earth is a globe earth, even though it doesn't make sense scientifically, even though it doesn't make sense logically that the earth could be a globe, because we will fall off. People continue to believe this lie. And as much evidence that's out there proving that they didn't go to the moon, proving that the earth is flat, proving that the earth is not moving in rotation on the axis, proving that the sun and the moon and the stars are actually moving, and not vice versa with the earth rotating around the sun and the rest of the planets. This is an old lie they have told. This discussion about whether the earth is a flat earth or a round earth has been going on for centuries. This is probably one of the oldest debates. Whether you can fall off the earth or whether the earth is globe and you can just keep going around it. We're going to prove today with the scriptures that the earth couldn't possibly be globe, and that the earth is actually a flat surface earth, as the Bible depicts. Now, when this video is done, if you still believe that the earth is a globe earth, that's on you. But today I'm going to prove with the scriptures and with common sense, because you're going to need a lot of common sense in the last days, proving with common sense that the earth is not a globe that they depict on the news and NASA and many other places. All right, let's jump to where we're going to start at. We're going to start at Joshua. We're going to start this at Joshua 10. Because there's a lot going around. First, we're going to debunk the lie that the sun is sitting still and that the earth and all of the so-called planets are rotating around the sun. This is what we've been told in school. This is what the scientists tell us. But we're going to prove that you shouldn't believe everything somebody tells you, especially when man says it. If it isn't coming from the scriptures, from the oracles of the Most High, I don't think you should believe it. And especially in these last days, after all of the lies that's being told has been discovered. Let's go to Joshua 10. Joshua 10, verse 13. And I'm going to start at verse 12. Then spake Joshua unto the Elohim in the day when the Elohim delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is it not this written in the book of Jasher, so that the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and has not to go down about a whole day? There was no day like that before it or after it, that the Elohim hearkened unto the voice of man. For the Elohim fought for Israel. We're going to start right there. It said that the sun and the moon stood still. The Most High commanded the sun and the moon to stand still. So that's strike one against your flat earth thing and the sun setting still in the midst of the galaxy and everything is rotating around it. You read right here in in Joshua, that the sun has been commanded to stay still, and the moon has been commanded to stay still too for a whole day, proving that the sun and the moon has a rotation that it goes through. Because if you tell it to stop, that means it's moving on a normal. So the sun standing still and the moon standing still is a lie. You should know that when you see the moon going down and the sun coming up. This is common sense, people. But you let them tell you that the sun is setting in the midst of a galaxy and we're rotating around it. When you see the sun go and come down and go up every day. Ridiculous. Okay, we're going to go to Genesis. because we have to prove. First we're gonna go to Isaiah, then we're gonna go to Genesis. We're gonna go to Isaiah 44 because they tell us that they fly out of space and they break the firmaments of heaven, and this is a lie. It's a so-called dome over the earth. It's a firmament over the earth that they cannot penetrate. So no, they haven't went to the moon. And there's a window, and I'm going to read where there's a window in the sky, letting you know that there's a window to space that you just can't fly into a new stratosphere. Okay, we're going to go to Isaiah 44 and 24. And I'm going to read. Thus says the Elohim, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Elohim that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. I'm going to start right there. He said he stretches the heavens. If you look around in the Vatican and different monuments over the earth, the ceiling, if you go in these churches, the ceiling is represented as a dome. They paint on the ceiling. This is a representation of the heavens and the earth. They know this. But this isn't normal common sense information. You have to search deep to find this information. You go in St. Louis, you see they have an ark. This ark represents the heavens. He says stretch forth the heavens. And the earth, you cannot, and he says stretch forth the earth. You cannot, he didn't say I molded the earth into a ball. He didn't say I rolled the earth. He said he stretched the earth. Let's go to Genesis. Because we got to prove that this dome and this heaven thing is true, and that the waters didn't just come out of the rivers and the oceans when the flood happened. That they actually came from above, and that's what made it so catastrophic. Let's find this. Genesis chapter 7. Genesis chapter 7. Genesis chapter 8. We're going to start at verse 2. And the fountains also of the deep in the window of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. We're going to start right there. He said the window of heaven. Let you know that water was coming out of the heavens. That it can possibly be airplanes and rockets flying through the stratosphere, because they'll hit a wall, they'll hit a window. Let's go to Amos 9 and 6 to continue to prove this dome thing. We got a lot of information to get out, but we're gonna start small. Let's go to Amos. Amos 9, people. Amos chapter 9, verse 6. And I'm going to read. It is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and hath found his truth in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poured them out of the face of the earth. The Elohim is his name. Now, we're going to keep reading. Are ye not as the children of the... No. Hold up. Let's jump up to verse 5. It says, the Elohim, the God of hosts, is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt. Now, it says that the face of earth, letting you know, in verse 6, it says the face of the earth. A ball doesn't have a face. A ball doesn't have a face. A ball is round. You can't have a flat surface, a face on a ball. It's forever going around. Now, we're going to jump to Revelation 7. Go to Revelation 7. Because the Bible constantly talks about four corners. It talks about the four corners of the earth, the pillars of the earth. And you can't have four corners on a ball. You can't have four corners on the globe, but you can have four corners on a flat surface. Let's go to Revelation 7. And we're going to read, and it says, "And after these things I saw four angels standing on four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree." Let's start right there. It says four corners and four winds. That lets you know that the earth it has four corners, so you can't, anybody who played any type of game with a ball know there's no type of way you can put four corners on the ball, on the globe. It's impossible. It's geometrically impossible. Geometrically impossible. Let's go to Job 28, because the scriptures also talk about ends of the earth. And if you know anything about a ball or a globe, you cannot there's no end to it. But on a flat surface, you can come to an end. Let's go to Job 28. Job 28 and 24. And I'm going to read. We're going to start at 23. "Yah understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. He looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven." He says the ends of the earth, letting you know there's the beginning of the earth and there's an end. There are corners. Once you go off that corner, it's over with. There's bounds to the earth. If you look up Antarctica and General Bird and all these things, they ran into an ice cap. There are walls of ice blocking the ends of the earth. Let's prove that. What verse is that? We got to find that verse. I believe it's we're going to go to Ecclesiastes. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes, because I had the verse and I want to get it before I get out of here. Ecclesiastes 1 and 5. I believe. Ecclesiastes 1 and 5, chapter 1, verse 5. See, this isn't the actual verse I'm looking for, but I'm going to read it off anyway. It says, "The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasten to his place where he arose." This is another verse letting you know that the sun is moving actually, and the earth isn't moving. The earth isn't rotating as scientists tell you. Now, we're going to go to, I got to find this verse where it says the waters are compassed. Let's go to Job 26. I believe it's Job 26, people. Job 26 is going to let you know that the ice poles in Antarctica is real. That it isn't a lie, that there are ends of the earth, and that it does come to a halt. Let's go to Job 38. Job 26. I'm sorry, people. Job 26. There's a lot of verses in Job over this earth thing, over this flat earth thing. Job 26 and verse 10. We're going to start at verse 9. "He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his clouds upon it. He hath compassed the waters with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. The pillars of the earth of the heaven tremble, and are astonished at reproof. He divideth the sea with his power, and by his understanding he smitteth through the proud." As you see right here, he says he's compassed the waters with bounds. This is what you're going to find in Antarctica. Ice caps bounding the waters, where you can go no further. We're going to do a part 2 to this, because we don't have enough time to finish this killing this theory. So come back for the part 2, people, and I'm going to continue this.